Join us right here on the Splash Live to get a little bit more into that. Warning, coordination meteorologist, the National Weather Service, Detroit, Pontiac. We have Jaclyn Anderson. Thank you so much for being here, Jaclyn.
Thanks for having me.
So we are talking about a very unique situation, experiencing some remnants from the hurricane that's starting from the south. Can you kind of just talk about the primary factors that determine how much of this rain or what we're expecting from the remnants of this hurricane?
Yeah, so we do have the remnants of Beryl moving through kind of as we speak. We saw some of the rain move in last night and become more widespread overnight and really kind of increase intensity in some spots. So right now we're tracking what the remnants of Beryl are. They're kind of lifting through southeast Michigan and over portions of Ohio and Lake Erie as we speak. We did have kind of a widespread 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain overnight and into this morning, with a few pockets of actually 4 to 5 inches of rain.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. So, and we are expecting more as time goes on, too. I want to just ask you this question. How does something like this happen? If you look on the map that they're showing, it goes from like the Gulf all the way like by Texas, and it's coming across the entire United States up towards Michigan with no water, no main bodies of water in that area of the United States. How is this even possible?
Yeah, so this isn't the first time this has happened. It's actually, I believe we've had about 20 instances where remnants of tropical storms or hurricanes have made it up into Michigan.
Mm,
So this isn't necessarily a first, but it's not a common thing we deal with every single year.
right.
What happens is once these systems make landfall, they will gradually weaken, but they still hold together a lot of that moisture that they bring with them. So a lot of us deal with the heavy rain as they move on shore and then continue to weaken and move through wherever part of the country the jet stream wants to take it to. So
Right.
essentially, once these storms make landfall, it's all up to the jet stream and where it kind of latches on and moves after that.
Whew. Yeah, that's a crazy situation. But good thing we aren't experiencing the initial part, the harshest part of the hurricane, I will say. But join us right here on the Splash Live. Warning, coordination meteorologist, National Weather Service for Detroit, Pontiac, Jaclyn Anderson. Now, since we in our area are just experiencing heavy rainfall and possible flooding, what steps should residents in Southeast Michigan take to kind of prepare for this heavy rainfall?
Yeah, so hopefully everybody was able to kind of check their sump pumps, make sure that everything's in working order before the rain kind of moved in.
Oh yeah.
I do know that our typical flood prone areas, maybe where there's poor drainage, regardless of if it's tropical remnants or just an everyday thunderstorm where you see flooding. Hopefully, people are mindful of those areas where flooding is more typical,
Mm-hmm.
even during just heavy rain events, let alone the tropical aspect of this one. And then also making sure that when you're driving, watching out for those areas of ponding water on the road. It's very easy to hydroplane if you hit a pocket of water that's sitting on the road. So being extra mindful of that when you're traveling.
So that just made me think of something. And right here, joining us, warning coordination meteorologist, National Weather Service, Detroit, Pontiac, Jaclyn Anderson. How does your organization kind of coordinate with local authorities like the West Bloomfield Police Department in case of any types of national or local weather emergencies?
So we work very closely with our emergency management partners and Homeland Security. And what we do is we send out briefings to our core partners ahead of hazardous weather. So ahead of this heavy rain event, we were issuing flood watches. We're currently still managing some flood advisories that are out there, but we're constantly watching the weather. And ahead of this event, we were emailing our core partners ahead of time to help them prepare for that heavy rain. So we're in close contact with the emergency management and kind of those emergency services.
Got you. And like we said, we know we're experiencing the tail end of it. It's not going to be as bad as they're experiencing in the Texas, Oklahoma area and things of that nature. But overall, we just want to make sure that we are super prepared for things of that nature. Is there any other important information, key information regarding this hurricane, the flooding, or the after effects that we should know about in the Southeast Michigan area?
Yeah, I would just say keep an eye out for the products that we're issuing. We're going to, if we have flood-prone areas where we're getting flooding reports, we're probably going to be issuing some flood advisories, so keep an eye out for that.
Hmm.
If we do hear of any reports of anything significant or life-threatening, or we start to see training thunderstorms that are producing just heavy rain, be on the lookout for any warnings that get issued.
Right.
Just be extra cautious today, stay weather aware, and stay safe.
And just so that we are clear, when you are issuing these warnings, what channels can residents expect these warnings from?
Yep, so they go out over the emergency alert system. If we were to issue any sort of flash flood warnings, depending on the level of severity, your cell phone may alert you. There's a bunch of different apps out there. All the broadcast community will be streaming all that stuff and with scrolls and all that information coming across. So there's a lot of different avenues to get that warning information.
Absolutely. And we appreciate your work for staying on top of this, keeping our community informed and safe during this time. Once again, thank you, Warning Coordination Meteorologist with the National Weather Service, Detroit, Pontiac, Jaclyn Anderson. Thank you so much for your time and your knowledge.
Thanks for having me.